Let the dragon consume you! Enemy sighted. Stop the payload! Stop the payload! In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
The Birdwatcher's back at it one more time. Here's your host, Brian and Clay. They're about to bring you some sweet Overwatch action.
All right, welcome back. And we're here for episode 24.
Yeah, man.
24 sounds right. And I guess we're
a good
talking
number.
about All-Star Weekend.
Yeah, it's finally happened. It's officially the end of OWL. Right?
Yeah.
For the year.
It's,
Well, I guess, do you count Worlds as it is the Overwatch League, right?
I guess it's a kind of a separate entity. We got a lot of Overwatch League players in it, so
Yeah.
it's almost the same thing. We're still going to be talking about Worlds. It's crazy. We almost have more content about Overwatch League transfers, leaves, and anything else, even more than All-Star games, even though they were so much fun to watch. Mm-hmm. Probably the most fun I've had in the last couple weeks, just Worlds and then that on top of it.
Oh,
Been
yeah.
really fun to watch. So, yeah.
Yeah, and then we have Worlds next weekend, right? Or is it this weekend?
I think it's next weekend.
Yeah, U.S. starts next weekend.
Yeah.
U.S. stage.
Yeah, no real big change in contenders. We've had a little bit of movement in the playoffs. We'll get to the point where we'll talk about the big North American game, which is September 7th.
Yes.
Fusion, XL2, Academy, both the Academy teams, which will be a good one too. So you can
we're
kick it
definitely
off
gonna-
with some news, I think, right?
Yeah, so let's see. Season 12 begins.
Yeah.
We had
Done
the
any
summer
placements?
games.
Oh, go
Oh,
ahead.
I haven't done my placements yet.
Okay.
Give me some time.
waiting
It
on
just,
this.
it just happened.
First week is really rough too.
Yeah. My last season, so season 11, was rough. It was a rough season for me, mainly because, like I said, I think I mentioned it before, work was a lot more busier than I would have liked.
Yeah.
The summer event kind of was a part of it as well. But I didn't play many games. I looked at my overall played games. I think I ended up playing like 40 games last season,
Okay. Yeah.
which was nowhere near enough to actually climb out of the slump. So,
You gonna hop in it a little bit more in season 12?
yeah, I'm going to try to knock these out. I'm trying to knock
Okay.
my placements out immediately and then try to grind a little. I want to get at least like 100 games in,
Yeah, there you go.
I think.
Yeah, I
have
think the
some
biggest
growth there.
thing for me is this. They've added the avoid limit from 2 to 3 people, which is
Oh, yes.
it's pretty
That's
big.
huge.
Yeah. I still wish they would incentivize the competitive mode a little bit more. We're kind of, it's kind of in a lull, right?
Yeah.
I guess you're going for rank and a golden gun. I don't know. I want something new.
Yeah.
Maybe a new gun, maybe a new skin. I've always thought it would have been a good idea to implement some kind of gun. Like in World of Warcraft, if you reach a certain rank in the competitive structure, you get to get a weapon. But if you ever lose that rank, you don't get to use it. I would like something like that. Just so the little bit of notoriety that you were there, you stuck there. I think that'd be kind of cool.
And that's kind of you bring that up, and that's a great point, because I felt the same way, because when you see how the UI is laid out for when you go to select your golden weapon, there's room for other things. And it looks
Yeah.
like they left room to say, hey, we can add different things here as far as, like, I don't know, a silver weapon.
Yeah.
Or, like, skins or like skins for your weapons instead
Right.
of just your character.
Yeah.
Which I think people would eat up.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if you were only able to hold these guys if they, you were in this rank to hold this. And I think that, the throwing probably goes down, incentivizes a little bit more teamwork. I mean, the endorsement system has worked okay, and the avoid system worked, it works okay.
Oh, yeah. It's working as intended for a first
Yeah.
iteration of something, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And to
go
feed
ahead.
off your point a little more, because that's actually, I like that idea a lot, is instead of just making it, or not instead of, but also with being a certain rating or a certain skill cap, it should be like stat-based as well. Well, when I say stat-based, it means like, if say you're in Diamond, right, and you have like gold or Grandmaster level healing average, right, comparative to everyone else, then you get to use this weapon or this skin.
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So that
Yeah.
way you don't have to be in Grandmaster to use it, but because you have the skill on like Zen, like your Zen's Grandmaster, but you may be kind of a one trick. But your
Right.
Zen gets to use this super cool skin because, or this, weapon skin because you have those skills in that character, and as long as you maintain that, you get to keep using it.
Yeah, just
And
a
I think-
little bit more incentive. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
that incentivizes people growing character pools
Yeah.
evenly as well. Yeah, that's a good idea, man.
Yeah. What else do we have we have some OWL news too.
Yeah, we have
a
a good
bunch
bit
of
of
it actually. Yeah. We're in that point where we're seeing trades. The teams are open to let people go, pick people up, more let people go at this point. I think is what we're looking at. We're waiting for contenders to end. I'm sure some of those guys will get picked up as well. First point, NYXL lets go of Janice, which is pretty big.
That was big.
I think they're kind of moving towards that keep a solid 8 because he was primarily a main tank on certain maps for those guys. Mano and Meko, their other 2 tanks, probably going to be the front runners for that team going forward.
And I think Janice will definitely get picked up. At least that's the rumor mill on
Yeah,
Reddit.
absolutely.
No one's like people are just more mad that he's no longer associated with NYXL, but people are pretty confident that he'll get picked up, especially with his playstyle, that aggressive tank playstyle. Being kind of different from a lot of the ones we're used to.
Yeah, absolutely. Another little news from NYXL, Wizard Hyung, I'm assuming that's how you pronounce it. One of their coaches, it was a mutual leave for him. NYXL and him parted ways. I'm assuming he's going to be looking elsewhere for a team. Big one here. Los Angeles Gladiators released 3 players this week, which is, I think, in my opinion, a little controversial. Iremix, Asher, and Silk Thread. Because, Gladiators going into the playoffs in Season 1 had stated that Iremix was performing much higher level than Fisher was, and that's why he was playing. Little odd. Letting him go after this, right? Because if he's performing so well, then why are we getting rid of him?
Exactly.
I think a little bit of, I don't know, something we don't know out there, right?
Yeah, it feels like probably more something personal happened between Fisher and the organization, and that's what led to the Iremix decision, not just the skill base.
Right, and I get you have to say something. Why is Iremix coming in? He's performing well, but now that we're getting released, it looks a little odd.
Yeah, the Silk Thread release is going to be rough, I think, because he was already released, right?
Yeah.
From LA, or from Valiant, this is over to Gladiators.
Right.
And that was also a thing. So it's like maybe he's just not cutting it. Maybe he drops down the contenders. Maybe he retires. Who knows?
We'll see. Yeah, I know he made a post on Twitter saying that he's going to be grinding really hard, just trying to, he has not reached his peak, and he's going to be just practicing a lot of Overwatch. So we might see him in the OUL. Somebody might pick him up.
Yeah.
Interested to see where he ends up. Boston Uprising losing Kalios, Avast, and Snow. We saw a little bit of play out of Kalios in Season 1. Not a lot out of Avast and Snow.
Yeah. Snow was known as the Lucio main.
Yep.
At the time when Lucio wasn't being played, he played one, I think half before during the season.
Yeah.
But outside of that,
not
no
much
news
play
there. Yeah.
Yeah. Soul Dynasty Gambler retires from Overwatch. Not a real big. I mean, they're losing a great support. He's I guess he's just looking for other things, getting out of Overwatch, doing something else. I think the biggest change we're seeing is out of Shanghai Dragons.
Shanghai Dragons release the Shanghai Dragons.
Yeah, pretty much. They got it from the inside, releasing Altering Free Feel, 5 King, Roshan, Shu, Ado, Sky, Demin. And then they also released their coach, Kong, and Nate.
So they kept Gaguri, which is smart.
Yeah.
She's real good.
She is very good. And it looks good on like a PR level, too. Right?
Oh, yeah. She has
just
that.
Pick her up. Don't drop her at this
People
point.
love her. It's the same conversation because Mickey came up for Dallas Fuel, essentially about to make adjustments as well. And people were kind of rumoring that they might let him go. And I was like, that's fucking impossible.
Yeah.
They can't. He's too much of a... Like, Mickey is good enough to play in the league.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he's good enough to play in the league. He's not great. And he's also, I don't think, peaked at all. And his positivity isn't. And we'll speak to that, because he does win an award here.
Yeah.
And it's one of those things where you need. We talked about how players are so much more than just the game. In any sport, you have to have this kind of well-rounded. You have to have certain players that kind of stand out.
Oh, absolutely.
Good figures.
Yeah, dude, the positive mental attitude in that kid is awesome, dude. Always smiling, man. He's fun to watch. Just
the demographic's
winning, losing.
young.
Yeah.
So you want these kids to know that gaming's not just all toxic and trash talking and being salty.
Right.
It's fun. It's an opportunity to do something cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Besides, I think that's all we have for team news. I'm sure we'll get a lot more over the next couple weeks as we learn more about the Chinese team, the Atlanta team.
Yeah.
I'm sure we'll see a lot of information coming out there. Streamer news, though. This is kind of the coolest thing that has come from Blizzard to their streamer community. I think this has got a lot of views. It's the Diva Nano Cola Challenge.
Yes.
Kind of come along with the short that they made. I've already got all my skins. Got my sprays. Got my skin. Been grinding.
I'm still working on the 8-hour one.
Yeah, okay.
8-hour mark. Those last two.
You just gotta turn it on, put it on in the background. Yeah, I watched Seagull for 8 hours the day it came out. So now watched is a kind of loose term. I turned him on and watched. I watched quite a bit of it.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And some of the other ones, I did some of the other ones as well because my schedule was a little more later. Than Seagull was on, so I got to look at these other kind of more casual streamers as well. Some of the foreign ones as well.
Yeah, and this is going to be going on for another, I think, 8 days.
Yeah, till the 10th.
Yeah, so just some big names on there: Aimbot Calvin, Valkia, Kefri, Fran, who awesome streamer. She's really good at. She fills a lot of roles, but exceptional on Ana and Zenyatta.
She plays a lot with Emong, right?
Yeah. And it's weird that we didn't see Emong into this. I guess we did get to see him earlier in the year, featured by Blizzard, but
no Kabaji either. I think I don't know. I guess they were trying to probably spread it out to the ones that were lesser known or outside the Seagull, right?
Right.
And Calvin. So I guess they're splitting the difference because some of these guys don't stream Overwatch solely. Some of them stream other games as well. So
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so we'll see. Next 8 days, you still have a huge chance to get these skins and sweet.
It's a cool skin too.
It is. It's dope.
You get a diva with long hair.
Yeah, it's cool. It's real bright and colorful. It's awesome.
Yeah.
What else do we have? During this, Seagull did break 100K concurrently.
Huge.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Top of the thing on Twitch there. It's always awesome to see Overwatch up there.
Yeah, and it's funny because Overwatch has been moving around a lot since the season's ended, as far as viewer count and competing with these other games that have been coming out. But it's still up there, man. It's still in that top 10 list.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is good to see, and it's growing. And with Seagull, going to League and now going back to streaming, he's pretty much tripled his viewer count without having to switch games. Like he's still playing the same game, right? But it's just that the visibility's there now, and people want to watch him.
Yeah, I'm glad we have. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, I'm just glad we have quite a few just like high 10K streamers for Overwatch. Him and XQC, they're doing a great job. Fran she peaked at like 30,000 people, which is awesome.
Dope.
Yeah,
she's real good.
Yeah,
there's another. Just shout out to the female streamers too. There's some other ones coming up as well. Like I think Aspen's another one.
Yep.
I think it's just sound with Cloud9. She's a really good support. Really good on
Yeah, I've played with Aspen quite a few times, actually.
Yeah, and a couple more out there that are like legitly better than me. So
yeah, and they're super fun to watch.
Oh yeah, good personalities. And him breaking 100K. Jeff in chat said, "Congrats."
That's awesome, dude. Getting a shout out from the old Kaplan.
Yeah, just real quick. Have you looked at Jeff's history?
No.
Or just gamer history?
No, I've done a lot.
Oh. I'll get you some kind. It's gonna be good stuff. So Jeff goes back. I'm not gonna go into it here because it's long. He goes back to EverQuest.
Oh,
right.
Shit.
And he was a heavy raider in EverQuest, but he was known as like one of those personalities that kind of people would say, backseat game design or couch. What's it called?
Like a backseat driver, but for game design.
Yeah, like he thought he knew all the stuff, which turns out he did. Was a big rager. He has a couple posts out there you can still find.
Oh, really? Where he's getting upset?
Yeah, where he's getting upset, and that's actually why it's a big reason why he ended up getting a job at Blizzard.
Awesome.
Was because of his presence on the forums, going from EverQuest to WoW and all this other stuff. It's real cool. It's real cool to see that history, and it makes him more human because Jeff is really nice, really well spoken. He likes the community. He treats the community well. But it's good to know that he's a gamer just like us, and sometimes when he gets peeved, he just goes and rages on a forum or somewhere.
Yeah,
right?
lets people know. That's awesome.
Yeah. So it humanizes him more, even though he's already seems like a cool dude.
Yeah. PTR. Little patch
Oh,
came
before
through.
PTR, I actually do have one more thing for streamer news. Zoe's streaming now.
Oh yeah. I watched her on Wednesday, I think, or Thursday, one of those days.
Yeah. This week she's been getting her stream set up, pretty much troubleshooting and all that stuff, which has been kind of funny to watch. And has been practicing, playing, trying to get better.
Cool.
And she says she wants to get a legitimate shot. So I was like, that's dope.
Yeah, this is like a side note. They did get a rematch. We're not going to spoil anything yet. They did get a rematch, so we might be seeing more of the caster showdown in the future, which is super fun.
Oh, the comms! I can't wait to get to talk about the comms.
Oh yeah,
so good.
It's awesome.
Right,
but PTR, just a quality of life change. They fixed some bugs that kind of need fixing. Some Widowmaker stuff. The grapple was a little off. And then we do see a possible Roadhog nerf, which is kind of coming out of nowhere for me, I think. Playing a lot of Roadhog in the past, he's definitely not the... you used to see this guy and be afraid of Roadhog, because that hook, man, you get pulled in. Obviously, still can do the one-shot kill, but I think they've nerfed his right-click damage, I think. The further away shotgun damage.
Yes, the fall-off is huge.
Yeah, which is I already thought was... pretty big. I mean, not great, from far away anyway. So I don't know.
Yeah, there's a video floating around out there of Ryan holding up a shield, and they're showing the comparison of current and with the possible nerf.
Yeah,
and the fall off makes a huge difference. It's one of those things where Roadhog has been a character that has been heavily discussed in the background because he's kind of in a place of indifference, right? Like he's not useless, but he's not necessary.
Yeah,
and he kind of serves certain roles. In certain team comps to bring it together, kind of like a glue. When we saw a lot of like the single healer back in the day kind of thing. But he, for some reason, them introducing this nerf just now brings more attention to how neglected he's been, and now he's being punished for nothing. So, yeah, it's an interesting choice.
Well, you kind of throw him in the off-tank role, and compared to D.Va, his pick rate is minuscule. During Overwatch League Season 1, we saw almost an 80% pick rate out of D.Va. And then with kind of the Ryan Zarya meta, kind of, it's slowing down a little bit more. We're still going to see a ton of D.Va, and I don't think Roadhog is going to be in the same boat as her. He's probably going to go by the wayside if this nerf does go through. We don't know if it is. Still in the PTR. It's kind of weird to see. Yeah. It gets us into a little bit of the meta talk. Season 12 has not been... it's only been out for a few days, so we don't know... a lot about it yet. The biggest thing that I've seen, just the games that I've been playing, a lot less Mercy, and we talked about that last week a little bit. A lot more Ana. I think Mercy has gone down to almost a 30% pick rate overall.
Which is about right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should be.
She's more situational. Obviously, she gets paired with Pharah a lot. But Pharah's still kind of hard to play with the double sniper comps and stuff like that. So Mercy not getting played as much. And then the tank thing is still some Ryan Zarya, but we're getting some more dive as well. So,
yes.
Yeah. Which is kind of cool. It's kind of all over the place.
Yeah, and that's I think a lot of people have mentioned this is probably the closest we've gotten to a balanced scale. Like it's never going to be completely balanced, guys.
Right.
There's there's a game design rule out there that after you go over a certain amount of characters, it is very difficult to balance to perfection. It's just not possible. But balance is also perception. So it's a case where I think they've gotten in a good place where people get to play the characters they want to play, which means that people don't have to troll to have fun.
Yep.
And we're close to it. And I think a couple redesigns, as they're looking like redesigned Torb and some other characters, will help towards that.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're seeing Symmetra played quite a bit. Siegel is killing it on that character. He said it's one of his best characters right now. And if you ever watch him play it, man, he's aggressive. He'll put that teleporter right in the back line of your team, come up behind you, right-click you a couple times. Oh, dude, that's insane.
The one thing I want to mention, which I kind of forgot already. Oh, no, is the off news is just the amount of content that Blizzard's putting out. So they put out a good. Like I thought skins and stuff like that were good already, and now it feels like they're just overwhelming. Like there's constantly events going on. There's constantly these things like this Diva Cola, Nana Cola thing. The amount of skins they're putting out are more than they did in previous events and stuff like that. So they're ramping it up, and the cost is still the same. And that's something that I think we neglect to see, is that they're committed, and I'm sure the league is some incentive for that as well.
Absolutely.
And it shows leaps and bounds, and the league is doing great. I mean, both financially, both in the eyes of investors, and both in the eyes of the fans. So, yeah, keep it up, man.
Yeah, I'm stoked.
All right, let's get into this stuff. Or do we have something else?
I think that's it.
All right. Let's talk about this All-Star Weekend, man. Like you said, it was really good.
Yo, dude, it was so fun to watch.
I found myself laughing out loud a good bit, enjoying myself.
Yeah, especially during the talent takedown.
Oh, man. Sponsored by Intel.
Yeah, sponsored by Intel. I think the biggest thing that stuck out to me, even amongst the talent takedown and the pros, everybody looked like they had smiles on their face the entire time.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, everybody having a good time. Even the Widowmaker 1v1, where they'd cut back to those guys. Did you watch any of this 1v1?
The Widowmaker?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, man.
Yeah. It was, how did you think the filming was? I know I'm skipping ahead a little bit here. I'll get back to Lucio Ball here in a second.
You mean like the spectating?
I think the in-between game thing.
Oh, yeah. I think there's too much lag there.
Yeah.
Because you can tell they just used the base structure of how that game mode behaves.
Right.
Because in 1v1, you do have a lot of lag time in between, like if you're selecting a different character.
Right.
Kind of thing.
But yeah, just too much of a pause, I think. It was, then some of the interviews, a little cringy, but I mean, they're fine.
I mean, we're going to get that. We're talking about, these are gamers, right? These aren't socialites. So
right.
But they're having fun. I think even though, and it's fun, I'm happy you mentioned that, even though sometimes the moments are a little cringy, you can tell that the players are comfortable now versus the beginning of the season.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Like in front of that crowd, they're now used to it. So talking and having fun and being silly and dabbing and laughing and even SBB and stuff. Like everybody's more comfortable now being a Overwatch player. At least that's the way it comes off to me.
Right.
And I'm loving it. So.
Oh, yeah, it was sweet. Do you want to kick it off with some Lucio Ball?
Oh, yeah. Lucio Ball was surprisingly really good. Okay, so teams. We had Gaguri, Fate, and Fissure for Pacific.
Yep.
And then who was Atlantic? Atlantic was
Meko, Arc, and Poco.
Yeah.
So
and
Meko and Arc, both Korean. Poco, where's Poco from? He's European, I know. So I'm just wondering is the call out here. He is French, so.
Oh yeah, Poco's French.
Not a lot of overlap there with the French and the Korean.
Exactly. But they're all real good at Lucio Ball, even though. So Fissure, obviously, they interviewed Fissure, and Fissure's a personality in himself. And he said, he didn't even practice because he knew he didn't need to.
Oh yeah.
And then they started off
confidence.
Yeah, and there were some sick plays. Obviously, everybody was playing a lot of Lucio Ball over the summer event.
Yeah.
Even myself, and just some of the plays they were doing, and it was funny how it was ramping up because at the beginning they were just kind of having fun, and then they started getting like really competitive. Gaguri, I didn't expect her to be that good. Lucio, just movement.
Right. Yeah.
Fate is my idol because I too am a keeper when I play Lucio Ball.
Yeah,
I like to play keeper.
Stick back there. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he was making some saves that were insane.
Nice.
Yeah, it was good.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I could see that being like a thing because obviously, because the people have been yammering for a while to make Lucio Ball just an event or a mode.
Yeah. And we see how popular Rocket League is.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think the fact that they sped up Lucio Ball, and they could probably speed it up even a little bit more, and it would be really sweet to watch.
Yeah. Just make a few tweaks.
Who won this? Atlantic?
Yes, Atlantic won
this one. They took the first map and then the third map, right? Pacific did steal a map from them in the middle there. So, yeah.
That was good. One of them I think the last one went to overtime, too.
Oh, did it? Yeah. Oh, yeah, because it was a 4-3.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, sweet.
And then Fissure had a huge play.
What about this Mystery Heroes?
It was all right. Mystery Heroes, I just had playing in the background.
Yeah, okay.
Sort of, because Shaz wasn't there. And I think that was my whole thing.
Yeah.
Was like, if Mystery Heroes happens, Shaz needs to be in it.
Oh, yeah, dude. I don't even think he was he?
No.
No, he wasn't.
Yeah,
it was kind of
unfortunately, I
crazy
don't think
because
he's part of the roster.
on one of these maps, it was Ilios actually, because these are all control point maps, which is awesome. It was either Ilios or Nepal. One of the first ones. What team? One of the teams, the Atlantic team, had 2 Briggs, a Mercy, a Lucio, a Zen, and a Hammond.
Yeah.
And they could not be killed. But then they got wiped towards I think it was on the second map towards the very end. And then their comp, it's kind of RNG what your comp ends up being.
Yeah.
Their comp from then on was just shit. Like, it just couldn't do anything at that point.
They were given the god comp, and then they couldn't wield the power,
yeah.
So the power was taken away.
Yeah, because it's pure RNG, right? You just end up with, I think one of the teams had no healer for a long time. Or it was like a Zen healer who was getting his ultimate really quick. These were super fun to watch. Like I said, I brought up earlier, a lot of smiles the entire time.
Yeah.
Just looked like a lot of fun. So
Yeah, and it was kind of loose. As far as the production was still good quality. But the commentating and then moving back and forth and going to the desk and having guest commentators as well.
Yeah, it was good.
That was great.
I will say this, and this will get on to later. Custa, man, this dude has got some real talent behind the mic, man. He was great. I think he said something about Zoe though that was. Did you hear this?
No,
Where
I didn't.
Someone charges Zoe, and he was like, I can't remember who it was, but maybe it was like Uber or something. I can't remember the teams off the time, but it was like Uber taking Zoe for a ride. Like, it was just the chat did not stop after.
Oh,
that.
of course,
So
of course, the chat doesn't stop. They'll take anything you give them.
We did get to see Riju Hong play Tracer, who I had never seen this guy play Tracer on this Mystery Heroes. Dude, killing it. No one could stop him. Yeah. That was the big highlight for me,
and
getting to see him playing.
There's a couple, and we'll get to it when we get to the main game.
Yeah.
Of just seeing a lot of players on different characters that we didn't know they are insane at.
Yeah.
Like Gesture's Widow.
Okay, I did not. I didn't catch that, but this is interesting.
We'll get to it.
Yeah. Okay.
What's next?
We did the quarterfinals for Widowmaker 1v1, but we'll talk about that as a whole. And then talent takedown. This is what we were excited. I was the most excited about.
Yeah,
and this is what we had the wager going. Yeah.
Alky.
I think we have to. Yeah, it's 100% true. I haven't started drinking yet today, but it's pretty close.
Yeah, day's not over.
Yeah. But I think we almost need to extend this one because so we had the talent takedown, which is the best of 3 maps. And we do get a rematch on Twitch where it goes a different way. Pacific does win this one, which I had called out a couple weeks ago that these guys could not lose. And large part of that, Rheinforce. Just 100%.
Former pro player, which is weird. I figured they would have swapped. They should have made Rheinforce also commentate with like Custa and Bishu, and then have just one of the casters constantly be on the team. I think that would balance it out, but it's still fun.
Yeah. So it looked like at the beginning he was playing Sombra, so it didn't look like he was, filling into this role that he was probably really good at, just kind of good at.
Yeah.
But then at some point he switches to a Junkrat, kills the Atlantic team over and over on Junkrat, and then goes to Wrecking Ball, and they just can never kill him. He's just rolling into him. Then we get to see him play Widowmaker for a little while. Pretty bad as a Widowmaker. He does kill Sideshow 3 times in a row.
Yeah.
That's not because he's good at Widow. That's because Sideshow is really bad at Mercy. Just really bad. Malik does come in for Gibraltar. And he does play with the controller, which they had a little bit of technical difficulty getting it set up. Did you see this?
Yeah,
they
man.
couldn't figure out how to do it.
When he pulled out the controller, I was like, no. Because everybody talked, that was the whole talk. Everybody was like, oh, he plays on console. But people were like, oh, no, he's practicing keyboard and mouse. He's practicing. But then he pulls out a controller, and they're like, fuck it. We're just going to run controller.
I thought the tracking...
And then he picks Reaper.
Yeah. I would have thought the tracking would have been his not a strong suit, obviously, because mouse and keyboard, you could track really well.
Yeah.
He was just in the weirdest spots. Like, at one point on Gibraltar, they're on attack. He's up top on Zarya. I'm just like, what are what are you doing up there? He's all by himself, just launching balls down. I'm like, dude, what are you doing up there? Yeah, it was cool.
That's
It was
funny.
cool to see. I did coin a new phrase, Mr. X the Flex, who switches constantly to different characters and
Yeah.
gets nothing done on any of them. Widowmaker, Genji, McCree, dude, just
It's that
all
Call of
over
Duty
the place.
life, man.
Yeah, I guess so.
Call of Duty days.
But yeah, Pacific did take this one down. We did get to see them on stream this week have a rematch where Atlantic did win all 3 of the maps. So we're currently even. And if you want to extend this wager, Ryan, we could probably double up.
No, I'm fine. I'll just give you your drinks. Like I think
fair
one
enough.
blackout day is enough. I
Yeah,
can
okay.
afford. I can afford that. I can. Like,
I was
going
going
to
to say, we could make it where you had to match every drink that I had, which really would have been a bad time.
That would have been a bad time for everyone involved.
Oh, yeah. Bartender upset.
Yeah.
Fiance upset. Yeah, it would have been rough. What do we have next? Lockout? Elimination?
Lockout was pretty quick. It was one of those ones where they didn't really do. I want to say they had fun, but it wasn't a case where they picked a lot of weird comps. Mm-hmm. They pretty much picked comps that could survive the longest. So because it's elimination, right?
Right.
If you die, that character is dead until the team is completely wiped out. And it was best of 3, so games went pretty fast. Nothing crazy happened here. This was kind of a lull out of all of them.
This was the third, I guess, Pacific win,
Yes.
counting the talent takedown.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. And then I guess we could talk about Widowmaker 1v1 for a little bit.
Yeah, this was interesting.
It was.
Interesting in a good way because I thought that, Widowmaker versus Widowmaker, there's no timers, there's
Yep.
no control point. The only thing is that the infrasight starts after a while, so the players can see each other.
Right.
But outside of that, the game's in its first to 7, right? And then for the finals, first to 10. So this could go on for a while, but it was so even. It was crazy to see how almost evenly matched all these top widows are.
Yeah, just a lot of back and forth. One
Yeah.
would win, other would win. Yeah,
And
it was awesome.
it was nerve-wracking. Like the crowd was like, oh,
Yeah.
oh my! Like people were on the edge of their seats to see these plays, and there were some insane plays.
There was. And the dancing, man. When you,
dancing,
you
yeah.
were caught out, you had no grapple, you had to dance.
Yeah.
I called it the dance when I was showing my fiance out. She was like, what the fuck are they doing? Like, why are they spinning in circles? Why are they doing this little, like, back and forth? This is to get away from the bullet, obviously. But it was crazy because Surefour did take down the whole thing. He figured out very early on that, especially the Korean Widowmaker mains, they like to keep it close.
Yes.
They want to get in your face and play Widow. And Surefour, with what I found out, a little bit lower sensitivity. He doesn't want to play real close. He wants to get as far as he can because with higher sensitivity, the further away you get, a little bit harder to hit those real precision shots. So he just kept backing away, especially in the finals versus Carpe. Carpe would try to get really close. He would back out, and that's how he ended up winning. And he just he figured out what they wanted to do against him, and he used it towards his advantage.
And that's why I feel that actually the match between him and Soon was so close because Soon plays the same way. Where
He wants to take those far away shots.
And it was a cool stat line they showed where they showed the angle, like the angle they usually play as far as flanking Widowmakers. Where I think his was only a 4% differential, which means that he likes straight on far away shots. So like you said, but he had some big, like some cool enders. He had that one where he was falling off the map.
Yeah,
And got the
and kept
headshot
going. Yep,
right before he died.
Yeah, that was
Stuff
nuts.
like that. He was hype, man. I think,
Yeah.
and he talked about he really wanted to win that when he practiced a lot for it.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I
So-
did not realize that. I will
he
say
talked about
that
that.
Architect was the most entertaining for me because he obviously he got 5th through 8th, so he one of those spots. But he was doing 360s before a lot of his shots.
Yeah.
And people weren't catching that because it was so fast.
Yeah.
It was really cool. He missed a lot of these, but sometimes he would catch somebody. I was like, holy shit, this dude is spinning completely around and finding this little head.
And
It was cool.
naturally, Pine's the most aggressive Widow on the face
Oh,
of it.
yeah.
Like Pine, the match would start and Pine would like grapple across the map to get to them as fast as possible.
Yeah, he wanted to be in their face too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fun. I did not expect it to be as exciting and engaging as it was. So that was cool.
Yeah, it was cool.
All right, so we're about to let's get into these main games. But I also wanted to mention something we forgot to talk about was, there was a was almost like a Good Samaritan or a positivity award given to Mickey, and it was branded after or named after Internet Hulk, because as everybody knows, in the last year he passed away at the age of 30. Internet Hulk was big, very positive for the game. Was one of the reasons that Mickey got in to, what was the team called again? It was
was it India's?
Yes.
God. Yeah.
I believe so. But Internet Hulk himself had a bunch of accolades as a player and as a coach as well. So that was neat to see. And then they let Mickey kind of talk about just being so positive in a game that's really stressful, and that was good to hear. So that was cool. That was cool. Something I wasn't expecting, and I'm happy they did it. And I hope they continue to do it to promote that positivity. So, but hopping into the main All-Star game, this is what everybody's here for. So one of the funny things is that obviously they get all the players out there. They do an interview with Ryu Jae-hong, and he calls out Carpe, right? And all Carpe responds with is, "I will kill him." That's it. And the first game on Kings of the Road, they try to murder each other the whole time, and it's great.
Oh, nice.
But one thing you guys should know: so for these games, every player has to play. That's the rule. It's supposed to be fun. So there's a lot of subs going on. So I'll announce who's on the roster for each map. And then this one is also on the newest patch, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. So we get to see some Hammond fun. And it's going to be kind of loose. It's not going to be like super in-depth like the rest of our overviews. So we're just running through it. So we start with Kings Row, a really good map. And for Atlantic here, we have our rosters: Arc, Carpe, Pine, Jonak, Gesture, and SBB. Solid comp here. And then we have, for Pacific, we have Ryu Jae-hong, Fissure, Fleta, Kariv, Gaguri, and Custa. So they're all mixed. And this one gets off to a good start. Naturally, like I said, Carpe immediately goes for Ryu Jae-hong. We get to see him on Doomfist. And he immediately kills Ryu Jae-hong and then does his tactical crouch.
Of course.
Yeah, there's plenty of tea parties during this whole thing because it's supposed to be fun.
I tell you what, just a side note, when you get tactically crouched in game, I don't know about you, I turn red. Like it really does put me off my game. I see why these guys do it, because you're in the head of the guy you defiled them a little bit.
Yeah.
Get in their head, man.
It's disrespectful because you have that post cam, you get to see it happen. Right?
Yeah, I click off that a lot of the time. I'm like, this guy's no. Yeah.
Nope. But yeah, so we get to see Fissure on Hammond here, and Fissure plays Hammond like a madman. So one thing we know about like Fissure's Winston is it's more calculated, right? It's not like a fraggy Winston. It's a very calculated play. But here, his Hammond is all over the place, and he likes to play super aggressive behind the lines. It's cool to watch. And I think Atlantic here used triple DPS, and the only person is Gesture is the only tank here. And they kind of roll over the first 2 points. There's something funny here where Kariv has a terrible nano blade. So Kariv is playing Genji, he gets nanoed, and he almost just like stands there for a minute, like does a dash to nowhere, and then sits there, and then it goes away, and everybody starts laughing. Everybody starts spamming AKM blade. It was very funny to watch. But they end up getting a full cap. And then we move to attack for Atlantic, and Ryu Jae-hong, we get to see him on this Doomfist, which he talks about constantly, how good he is on Doomfist, and we get to see it, and it's real good. Like he plays it like a fighting game. It's insane. He's constantly getting chains. He's behind lines. He's back in front. It's fun to watch. But he goes on a tear here with our own defense. And Hammond. So I want to bring this up. Hammond has this squeal when he dies.
It's terrible.
It's the worst sound.
Yeah. Not only just. It is. And not only that, the fact that he kind of flops out, this poor little creature flops out of this mech and just, falls on its side. It's heartbreaking.
Yeah. But yeah, so they get 0.1 here. But then we get to see SBB on McCree kind of go on a tear as well. He gets nanoed a good bit. He has a couple 4 or 5Ks here. And then he has a moment of right towards the end when they're unable to cap. He does a rollback to try to evade, and he falls off the map. Ooh. And then everybody gets quiet, and he's kind of puts a peace sign up.
Yeah,
and he's like, I did that on purpose. It was for fan service.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Pacific ended up taking this. We do get to see Arc play Brogan as well, which felt weird.
Yeah, that is weird because, we notorious Mercy support player. We've seen him play a little bit of Ana too.
Yeah.
But get to shift over to a different character. And this is, and like we brought up, this is all for fun. This is the most fun I think I've seen these guys have.
Yeah.
Because it's all smiles. It's nothing serious after, they'll pan to the whole team. It looks like they're all having a ton of fun.
Yeah, we get to see a lot of people playing characters too that we don't usually see them on.
Yeah.
And some of them are really good. And some
was
of them
there
are really bad.
Was there a money thing involved in this? I don't think there was. This was
No,
pure
this-
fun,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
Good. This is what I like to see.
So Pacific take the first map, and then we move into Rialto, which one of our newer maps, or newest map, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, our newest map, known for its close quarters. So we have a switch of roster here. So now Atlantic has Prophet, Saya Player, Mono, Fury, Libero, and Badosin. And then the Pacific roster has Soon, Agility, Space, Fate, Custa, and Kareem. So basically the Los Angeles Valiant.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one they kind of get serious here. We start off with Libero on Ana, and it's all right.
Yeah, okay.
It's all right. We have him on Ana, and then we have Agilities on Ana for Pacific.
Huh.
So that's interesting. Pacific does get 0.1 on their attack here. And then we have Soon swap to Bastion, and he tries to be cute. Yeah, he gets his ult, tries to be cute. So when you pass after you cap 0.1, you get around the bend, and you're going towards 0.2, there's a little alleyway back there that has a gate on it. So Soon is back there with ult, waiting for the team to spawn, the opponents to spawn and run past him. He pops his ult, but you get the sound clip when you pop your ult. And immediately Mono hears the voice clip, turns around, shatters, and then charges him into the wall before anything can happen. And then right after that happens, Prophet comes in with a 4K blade to ruin everybody's fun. So all because Soon was trying to be cute.
Yeah, I was actually just watching Soon on Twitch, and I could imagine what he kind of speaks under his breath. In French, I could only imagine. I don't know French, so I could only imagine what he was saying. Like son of a bitch.
Yeah. One of the other things that happened here was kind of cool was Fury and Saya player combo for this sick grab tracer bomb that kills the whole team. Yeah, it's a team wipe. Very impressive. But yeah, so they try to get to 0.3. They don't. They get pretty close. We move to Atlantic on attack here, and Atlantic just rolls over Pacific for 0.1. Saya player here just picks Widow, which isn't fair. And he has this sick snipe. So one of the plays, Genji, Agilities pops Genji ult, dashes towards him, and in the dash, he gets a charge shot and melee kill right before he gets to him.
That's always disappointing.
Disappointing
for the Genji player.
Yeah, they show that one a couple times.
Yeah, of course.
But Pacific make it a point to make it really difficult for them to get to 0.2, and then they start to become tryhards where Atlantic swaps to standard characters. Pacific does the same, and then for the first time we get to hear Hex use the term "fat shaddies." The chat loved that. Oh man, fat shaddies. So what happens next here? We have a C9 happen. So Atlantic gets to 0.2, and then Pacific C9s. Like or half the team's still alive. They have the spawn advantage, and because they got pretty close to 0.3, they had some space. But for some reason, they got the letter number here.
Yeah, perfect time to get off the cart, in my opinion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Why not?
If you want to go to that next map.
So we're all tied up. And then we move into Horizon here. So for Horizon, we have another roster switch, right? So we have Prophet now, Striker, SBB, Pine, and Carpe. That team is all DPS, if you haven't noticed.
I was going to say, I really like man, this looks good. And then I thought, oh yeah, they're missing something. They're missing any support. It's like, holy shit, this team looks stacked. It's like, oh yeah, because they're all really good DPS players.
Yeah, this team is sick. And then Pacific roster here is OG, B-Shoes, Share4, Goose, Sleepy, and Mickey. Yeah, so a little mix there.
So we got we got two tanks at Pacific on this one at least. Okay, cool. Yeah.
So on attack, Pacific just rolls over Atlantic for 0.1 and 0.2. There's nothing special here. It's just a whooping. Then we move to attack for Atlantic here. And we finally get to see some Torb and Sim. It took long enough. It took 3 maps.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, we get Torb and Sim. But Mickey does swap off of Torb to Doomfist after a bit because he's just not getting anything set up or being very effective in any manner. And we get to find out that Sleepy, I think we saw Sleepy play Sombra a few times during the regular season. It's loose to me. It was like in the middle somewhere. It was very weird. But his Sombra's really annoying. He's real good at like creating and disrupting the opponent team and being effective. Yeah. And I watched it, like I kind of rewinded it a couple times because like he's actually very effective on Sombra, and I want to see him play it more, especially with her new changes with like how invisibility is permanent and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, I really like Sombra on this map too. She is very good. There's so many just nooks and crannies she can get back into and then dip in and out. Oh, it's awesome to see.
Yeah, but Atlantic have a trouble getting the first point. They finally do, I think, in overtime here. And then Pine goes on an absolute rampage. He switches to Doomfist, and he does the same thing like Ryu Jae-hung was doing on King's Row. And that leads us to a round 2, where we get the 6 DPS comp.
Perfect.
That Atlantic runs here. And it works. It works.
Yeah, who needs a tank or healers when you're just killing the entire other team?
Yeah, they fly through both points, and Carpe is just a monster here on Widow. Like, he's just playing his top-notch play. Taking all the heads off. And then for round 2 for Pacific, they have some time. They have a tough time here because Atlantic just runs the same thing again. They run all DPS, no tanks, no tanks at all. Besides a Mei, they have.
Okay,
they have
that's all you need for a tank.
I can't remember who was playing Mei. They're playing
slipping me
very well, and that leads to Atlantic taking it there. So that was a fun one.
Yeah, that's sweet.
All right, so we're gonna pick it up with the second half of these maps here towards the end, and we get our first control map, which is Ilios, and we have the AD roster, or not AD, Atlantic Division, being Gesture, Fury, Meko, Mono, Muma, and Poco. It's almost like a tongue twister there.
Yeah, the 3 M's there in the middle.
Exactly, right? We have an all-tech roster, so they definitely have a theme here on Atlantic.
Yeah.
And then for Pacific, we have Fissure, Ryu Jae-hung, Zumba, and Architect, Fleta, and Gurguri, which they actually make a good combo here. So we go to round 1, where we have Lighthouse, and this is just a bunch of back and forth. Nothing crazy happens. It's just the point is constantly flipping after every fight. But Pacific do end up taking it for Lighthouse. We move into round 2 for Ruins, where Atlantic dominates here. I think it's almost 100. It's pretty much, I think it's 100-0. I can't remember. But we get to see here Mono's Ana. So we talked about characters that these guys don't usually play, that they're just really good on. So we get to see Mono's Ana and Gesture's Widow, and they're actually insane. Mono's Ana is just like, he's hitting shots that, because you got to remember, it's still against pros. Like this, they're having fun. They're playing different characters. They're doing whatever. They're having a good time, but they're still playing against at a pro level,
the
right?
Skill is still there, yeah.
Yeah, and he's doing shots and landing sleeps that are just insanity. And he has a taste for it, which means that he probably just plays it a good bit on ladder as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Gesture's Widow is so focused. Like, he doesn't choke on shots. There's one point where he's getting chased down by 3 characters, and he picks out the Genji mid-jump, or he does a grapple, does a 180 to pick out Genji, takes Genji out before he dies, and has some other sick plays as well, just on a tear. And his flick shots are insane. So that's something I definitely did not see.
Yeah, I would have never thought going into this Gesture being a dominant Widow. That's cool.
Yeah. So they end up taking it. Atlantic takes Ruins, and then we move into round 3 for Wells, and we get to see Fury on a Torb, and he's only using his hammer.
Perfect. Oh yes, I watched this live, and then I went back and watched a clip of getting nanoed, I think a Lucio ult as well to keep him up. Just hammering people down.
The beginning of Nano Core. Very inefficient.
We'll see this. We'll see this a lot in Overwatch League Season 2. I guarantee it.
That'd be funny though. We'll probably see it a lot on ladder. That's real fear. That's a real
fear. Don't wish that on us, Ryan.
But here, I say go watch the last fight. The last fight is actually really solid as far as the disruption, because we have like a Mei, we have Lucio, we have a lot of characters that just disrupt the playfield, and it's Wells. And it's a damn nightmare watching people get knocked in the wells, getting knocked off the map on the side, getting pulled here and fro because there's like a roadhog running around. It's pretty good. But Atlantic can end up taking this final round and take Ilios. So that's it. Atlantic wins. Atlantic wins it all out. I thought they were going to rig it to make it go to Game 5, right?
Yeah.
To make it fun, right? But we do still get Game 5. It's a bonus map to see if Pacific can, redeem themselves, redeem their honor.
And they did
not. So we have for Atlantic, we have Saya Player, Arc, Jonak, Bedosin, Gamsu, and Striker. And then for Pacific, we have OG, Mickey, Surefour, Bishu, Space, and Soon. And on attack here, we get to see Jonak on Genji, which at first, he's kind of rough. He gets picked off a good bit. And then there is something cool he does where he gets his kill chain. The last person in the chain is Diva. And Diva, so Space tries to fly off. I think it's Space. But Diva tries to jump off the map. And as she's falling, he jumps after her and gets her out of mech. So he gets the count for the kill and then dashes back up to the ledge.
Oh, nice.
It's real sick.
Smooth.
And then right after that, we get to see Gamsu takes Hammond. And right when they spawn, he jumps up and then dumps the mines at the spawn point as they're running out. And they're just running through the minefield. It's pretty good. They force Pacific to overtime here, and then they do get it after sitting on the cart, and they go into try hard mode, and they make it all the way to point 3. They don't take point 3 though. And then we move to attack for Atlantic here, and we get to see Sim and Bastion on defense, which actually worked out better than I thought. The commentators mentioned it as well, where Surefour is playing Sim. Surefour is playing Bastion, and Mickey's playing Sim, or the other way around. And what's happening is he's using the teleport to essentially move the turret around and position faster, right? So he'll be on top of the station, and then he'll shoot. The moment they swap to him, he jumps in the teleporter, and it teleports him to the ramp, right? And then he sets up again on the ramp, and he gets a good bit of kills doing that for a while. So very surprisingly well played there for two players who don't play together.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And then we get to see Sire play on Hog, and his Hog's just really good. Arc's McCree is really good, which, we talked about him being on Brogan being weird, but this is even weirder, and he does really well on it.
Did not see that coming. That natural aim, yeah. That's
yeah,
awesome.
I mean, I guess high level play is high level play, man. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, probably shift over and play a bunch of different characters.
Exactly, and then find your place.
Yeah.
But yeah, Atlantic ended up taking this one. They take the 5th map as well, so they end up winning it all 4-1.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was fun to watch. It was definitely cool to see because I'm happy they stuck with the theme of, play different characters playing outside their pools. It seems like they talked a lot, the teams, the makeups, when they would sub in. They decide, okay, well, you're usually a DPS player, so play a tank. I'm going to play a DPS. I'm healer usually. Stuff like that, right? We kind of mix it up.
Oh, you're cutting again, Ryan. All right, I'm going to wrap this up for you guys. Ryan's having a little bit of technical difficulties. We'll get it back for the next cast. Really awesome weekend overall. All-Star Weekend is going to be something both Ryan and I really look forward to. It looked like the players had a ton of fun. Hopefully, with the addition of some more teams, maybe we get some more divisions. Really going to be cool to see in the future, see how Blizzard handles this. It was really run really well all weekend. It was a ton of fun to watch. But yeah, that's it for episode 24. Like Ryan always says, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, all at the Bird Watchers. Like and subscribe to our SoundCloud and to iTunes. Just shoot us a review, what you think. You can always email us at thebirdwatcherspodcast@gmail.com. Yeah, thanks guys for listening. Like I said, Ryan would love to be here, but his internet is pooping on him. So yeah, thanks guys. We'll catch you next week.
I have destroyed more of your kind than I can count.
You weren't given those guns to toss them around like